What's up, guys? Chemist here from Meanwhile the Man Cave, and we take a look at all things pop culture, games, toys, or anything we think is cool. And today we are taking a look at yet another Marvel Select figure. This is of the Incredible Hulk. This particular version, I believe, is based on the Sal Buscema run of the Incredible Hulk, which included number 300, where the Hulk went berserk and they were forced to, I think it was Doctor Strange was forced to banish him to the Crossroads. Sal Buscema started his incredible 9.5-year run on the Incredible Hulk with issue number 194 in December of 1975 and ran until issue number 309 in July of 1985. An incredible run that only ended when creative differences came up between him and writer Bill Mantlo. The Sal Buscema run includes my favorite Hulk story ever, and that is that of the Crossroads, when the Bruce Banner persona dies completely and there's nothing left but the savage beast, the Hulk. The destruction that the Hulk is causing on Earth leaves Doctor Strange no choice but to banish the Hulk to the dimension known as the Crossroads. The Crossroads is a place in space with many interdimensional gateways that lead to different places that the Hulk can really do no major harm. And it's in these places that you get to see the Hulk in so many different environments and different, storylines that you could never ever see him on Earth. And it's not even like the major battles and everything with like creatures and everything that he runs into that are so interesting. It's actually some of the less action-packed stories that are even more interesting, such as there's a story in the Incredible Hulk annual from around that time that had to do with a dimension where none of the creatures could really survive unless they had one of these little like spinal like symbiotes attached to them. And that whole storyline was really interesting. My favorite story in the whole Crossroads series is a story that's loosely based on Moby Dick, and it has the Hulk as a slave on this robotic sailing ship, and the figurehead on the front of the ship is actually a cyborg like captain of the ship, and they're hunting this giant energy-eating creature that's kind of like Moby Dick. And that's a really, really cool story. So if you haven't read that whole storyline for the Crossroads, I highly recommend it. Let's start out by taking a look at the packaging. The standard Marvel Select window box fare here. And got a picture of the artwork on the side, picture of the figure along with a couple other figures in the line down here, and a description of the Hulk himself. Let's not waste a whole lot of time on that. Let's break the Hulk out of this package and see what we've got. Alright, the Hulk's out of the package. Twist ties have been removed. Starting off, comes with a really big base here. Pretty nice. Especially when you're talking a figure so massive. It's still pretty cool that they come with a base like this. Let's get the Incredible Hulk himself out. So he's painted pretty good here. Go, got the classic purple pants. Like the shading on it. let's take a look at his articulation, starting off with his head. A little bit of tilting here. Not much forward, but I got a little bit back. Get your left and right motion here as well. At the shoulders, got your lateral movement. Now, being a older model, he doesn't have the joint here between the shoulder and the bicep, which the newer models, I really like that they've added that. He does not have that. You do have a joint here at the elbow, which gives you some swivel. Also, there is a hinge there. So you got a swivel and a hinge at the elbow. Do you have your twisting here at the wrist? So some different angles for the fist. Again, with an earlier model, there is no abdomen joint. But honestly, I don't think like the newer Hulk that they did had a abdomen joint either. But you do have some twisting at the waist. And right there, decent amount. And down here at the legs. A little bit of lateral movement, not a ton. Now, something you gotta be careful with on this particular model, he does have a hinge, but he also twists there. So you gotta make sure that hinge lines up. I don't like it really when they do that. It's kind of difficult to do. Let's line up that hinge to see how much range of motion he has for the kick. So upon messing around with that joint, he really doesn't have a kick motion, which is really weird with this. I don't know if I've ever seen that on any of these figures where they really didn't have a kick motion. He's got the lateral, but not really any kick for forward and back. We'll see how that plays out when we're posing him. At the knee, you do have swiveling there, and you can bend the knee back. Down here at the foot, forward and back, decent range. Your swiveling of the foot is going to come from the knee joint, not from a separate ball joint down here. So this should all repeat on the other side, so I'm not going to repeat that. Okay, we're going to try to get him into some poses. We're going to see if that weird choice in leg joints is going to affect how dynamic of poses we can get with this guy. So, although there isn't a huge variety of poses you can get out of this guy, I still like how he looks a lot. Obviously, it's more of a statue than anything, but that you can alter its poses with. Maybe rather than the base, it would have been nice if they'd included two open hands. So it would have been kind of nice. Then you could have given him some more variety of poses with an open palm type hand that you could switch one of them out. But still, this is pretty faithful to that Sal Buscema run of Hulk comics. Definitely glad I got it. Still pretty massive figures for the price point. He's coming in at about 9.5 inches tall, which is pretty cool for the price point of these figures. Still feel like Marvel Select gives you some of the best value for your money. And I'm very happy with this figure. Like I said, I mean, it's an older model, so it shows its age in the articulation, but the sculpt and everything I like a lot. So anyway, I want to thank you guys all for tuning in, and come back for the next episode of Meanwhile in the Man Cave. I'll talk to you guys later.